Oh, hi six shooter, hi guys. We have here the Losi Lasernut. Is the nut mean for a nut or is the nut mean for nuts? I don't know. This car looks amazing. Once again, Losi shows us that they can do really super nice stuff. We have here not a full scale but a scale looking truck. This truck costs more than what it should cost, but it's clearly because we have here a licensed body, it's okay. We have many details in the car. We have LED lights. We have super beefy tires. The first time I see this picture of them, I think, oh, that's ugly. But now I have it in the hands, I think it's really nice. It's based on the DB Pro. DB Pro is a short course or a desert buggy 1/10 scale. That means wheelbase 330 millimeters, 2.73 to 3 kilograms. Because this car is longer and heavier, they put another motor in who takes less kV but takes more S. That's a really good choice, and also a small pinion gear so the car goes not too fast. It's clear. It's not a competition buggy, it's not made to drive it crazy, to bash it hard, to send it to the moon. It's made for those who want to drive smooth and have a nice looking truck in the off-road, and that's what it is. The suspension feels out from the box really good. We have really a smooth rear. You have a little bit stiffer front, but when the battery is in, it really feels great. You have nothing to do. You have loose differentials. It's not something I like. I like to have a little bit harder diffs, especially for cars made for off-road, for going to gravel, because here in the gravel, if you have not enough thick oil, you don't have enough grip to put the power on the ground. Each time you lift a tire, you lose the power and you not go forward. I was shocked when I weighed the car, because it has 4.5 kilograms with a small light 4S in the car, and that's heavy. Because we have here a base was made for 3 kilograms, we have here more than 4.5 or 4.5. That means 50% more weight on the same truck. The DB Pro is a super tough truck. I love it. I love it. It's really a good truck, one from the best, from the toughness, from the transmission and from the A-arms and the tough, with the Techno RC 410. But with 4.5 kilograms, I feel a little bit concerned, and I really think that when you hit something with this weight, you will destroy an A-arm or something. Even if you not drive it hard, it's made for gravel, so that will happen. But this is only something we will see in a time what happens. You have two versions from the truck, the blue and white and the black and red. I prefer the black and red, and I'm really thinking on to get one. This is not for me, and now I get it in the hand, I really want to buy one. I weight also one from these tires, 250 grams each tires, and we have 5 from them on the truck. That means 1 kilogram, 250 tires on the truck. That's really heavy. That's what we have on 1/8 scale monster trucks. That's also why it's higher in the weight. The cage is longer, so it's also heavier, and the chassis plate is longer, that's also heavier. The train are exactly the same than the DB Pro. Difference to that the truck looks like more scale. They put the sway bar in the rear and higher, so it really looks like we have here a rear solid axle, but it's still independent suspension. In many times when you get this, you have an issue to put the body away, you have to unscrew something, but Losi had a better idea. They put the articulation from the sway bar exactly where is the articulation from the body, so if you move the pins away, you can really easy flip all the body off. here and have access to the electronic. The motor is 68 mm long. For this weight I expect more a 47 or a longer motor, but it's low geared, and how I say, it's not too much power for the truck, so it's smooth to drive and it will be cool. I will not drive it in 2S because with 4.5 kg you will really suck many amp from the battery, so I prefer to go lower geared in 4S to have a longer runtime and not stress my battery. You have the spectrum ESC with the smart system. That means the ESC can know how hot your battery is and the voltage from the battery, and these go to the receiver, and the receiver tell you on the radio system how many volts is in the battery, still in the battery. I don't know if you have the temperature. I have not. I was not going to the Spectrum website to see how all this works. I don't care about it. But many from you want this and want a lot of electronic and stuff in the truck, so it's alright for them. Servo still mega slow. I don't like the Spectrum servo who comes in the RTRs. It's really bad servo. It makes the job, but man, this is such a slow servo. Is even not able to turn the wheel full right and left when the truck is on the table. And also the fact that this car is weight 4.5 kg, we need here more. This is a right servo for the DB10 with 2.7 kg, but not for 4.5 kg, especially when the battery is in the front. You see here the car is longer in the end, but all the weight is still on the front. So this is too weak. I don't like the fact that we have no receiver box and all the wire here laying around, and also even if it's waterproof, I can tell you when you are in the water you will have issue, because we have still here plus and minus open, and if water goes in, it's not make a shortcut, but it make a wrong information and the receiver will work bad. I have tested, guys. When you go in water you have fail reaction on the car because of the water in the receiver. So Losi, please do us like on the Tenacity series a receiver box to put this receiver in. Especially this receiver is really high priced. You have to pay here in Europe 70 to 90 euros for such a receiver, so I want this receiver be protected by a receiver box for on such a high priced RTR car. It's clear, it's easy to do yourself, 8 to 9 bucks. You have a receiver box, you can bolt it on easy, you have enough room, but I want this ready on the RTR, especially because Losi make a great job with the wiring. You have all the wire like really cool and nice. Also the LED lights is put nice on the body, and then we have this in the middle here from the car. It's not a big deal, I know, but I don't like it. That's my meaning, so I can tell it. I was also a little bit concerned about what will happen with the tire with 4S. I really think in the beginning that in 4S this tire will balloon so much that it will be not easy and not comfortable to drive this car, but because they really gear it right, in 3S the car is really easy to drive, and in 4S you have only a little bit of ballooning, so it's not too much, and it feels great. I don't can go drive this truck because it's not my truck. That's why maybe I'm gonna take one myself. or I just gonna grab a cage, body panels, and put this on a real 1/8 scale on a SO DB8 on a Hobau 8SC or on the Team Magic Stats, because the body is really looking great. But in the fact that this car is 4.5 kg, he has the weight from a 1/8 scale, but with a 1/10 scale transmission. And how I said before, even if it's a good transmission, think on what happened to the bearing. If you land hard here, you have small tiny bearing who has to stop the weight from a 1/8 scale who has big fat bearings. So the bearing are gonna die faster. The differential is smaller and all the stuff. So when you are a little bit harder on the throttle and so, you will has more rear on your transmission. Clearly Losi don't think for this car is not made for bash, but I'll tell anytime, when you buy the truck you can do what you want with the truck. If you want to send it to the moon, you have the right to do it if it's make you laugh, because we make this hobby to have joy, and if your joy is to destroy something, you can do it. It's your money, you earned it. I hope you earned it. Don't tell me you stole it. So it's your choice. If I gonna take one, I would not drive it hard because I really love the look like the truck is, and I'm begin to be a little bit older, and with the older age I begin to drive a little bit softer some cars. I also begin to go for a little bit crawler. So your dream, never I lose the throttle even. So that's definitely not a car for me. If I buy something, I buy the DB10 Pro Fox version or the other one, not this one. This is too heavy for me for this transmission, for this motor. Definitely I am a too hard driver for that type of construction, but for those who loves to see the RC drives in cool and smooth style and scale looking stuff, it's exactly the right truck for you. Bye guys, have a nice day. Tell me what you think about it. Stop. I forget to talk about radio system and user manual. First I was happy. I think, oh, look at this. This is a big fat manual you have here, really mechanical instruction and all the stuff. But nope, you have just all language here for use the car. Good point, we have all 11 steps to change on the C. We can also change timing and low voltage cutoff and power level for the punch. That's cool. And we have only in the back three little parts for disassemble the car. The first thing I do when I see that is going to check out, because I was really pissed off on my the first from this generation I bought back in the time was the Losi DB10. When I get it, I was really disappointed. I break my front bumper. So I got to check the part number from the front bumper and want to buy a front bumper. And what a shock to see that you can get only the front bumper. You had back in the time to pay for the whole cage. That means 80 to 90 euros here in France, because just to break the front bumper. This tiny small part here, and this tiny small part is also the first we're gonna die. This car is made for go in rock. We have here 4.5 kilogram, and we have here only a small tiny 1/10 kilo front bumper. I think this car should be come out from the box with skid plates and really beefy bumper. So I go to check out what happens here. You can have left or right or the top separately. You have to buy the whole cage here, but the bumper is not the same part number. Here you have 078 at the end, and the front bumper has 079 is here. So that was a good point, but it's still not just the front bumper. You have still to buy all the rear cage here for the spare part, a spare wheel here in the back. It's clear not so heavy price that one, but it's still here in France 20 to 40 euros if you just break the front bumper. So if you want to drive it in gravel, before you go drive it, take your time and go to get an RPM front bumper for the DB10, or I guess in the time we talk here together, something was made from T-bone or from Detroit Racing or from RPM to protect you the front from your truck. If you love it, protect it. If you have one, because here in Europe, Horizon Hobby is American, so you get the trucks 2 to 3, sometimes 6 months before us. So I really count on you guys. If you have ones, comment me and tell me what is your feeling of the car. We have here clearly a high ground clearance because of the bigger tires. The tires feel really good, but I don't know if they do really well in off-road. The suspensions feel really smooth and perfect out from the box for me. I think we should get a little bit tougher center diff oil and front diff oil, a better servo, a receiver box, and then it's okay, we can go. Maybe a little bit longer motor for more torque, not for have more power, but for have less heat on the motor. But if it's right geared, maybe it will be okay, I don't know. The last time we see more and more brands put smaller and smaller and smaller motor in heavier and heavier cars. That's something I really not like. I like to have big fat motors or low kV motor with a lot of S. I prefer the old American style from big block motors. A really big fat V8 engine with 7 or 8 liter motors, where we don't need to hit the full throttle to have good performance. And the last years the RC brands go backward. They put like European style little 4-cylinder engine with 2-liter motors, with turbo, with charger. We have a lot of PS, but you never can have with a small motor, even if it's a 4-time bloat, you never will have the torque that you have with big bores. Nothing can replace big bore motor in torque wise and long running time wise. The Traxxas Max has a 36-70mm motors. This one has only 86mm motor, and more brands go down to this small tiny motor. With 4.5 kilograms you never will see a competition buggy drive. Even if in competition they go to smaller motor, they go to 86 motors, but with 40mm. If you tell a competition driver to put this motor in a buggy, even if the buggy is still 3.5 kilograms, that means 1 kilogram lighter than this one, he will laugh. He will say, "Are you crazy, man? That's never enough to move my buggy." But here we have it. Okay, it's just for drive fun, but 530 to 550 euro is the price for this truck here in Europe. And for this price you have many 1/8 scale with 4 to 6S power systems. I know the license for the body is maybe something heavy to pay for Losi, and we are happy with. Not before we unbox it, but after we unbox it. So now a word to the radio system. I'm really happy to see that we have no more the DX2. This radio system is way better. He has only one little thing, is when you transport this transmitter, take care to not hit here the button, because it immediately go on. To go off you have to wait some time, but for on it's just so easy. So I think this knob should be protected by a little bit of rubber here, so you can glue a little part from rubber here to that something not happens to you when you transport it. Maybe you also will, while you transport it, can change something, because the all is exposed here, the knobs are exposed. Here you have no rate, you have no, how to say, I don't know to say how in English, but little click 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 click. The knob goes really easy, so it's really easy to change anything on the setup from the radio system. It's not a big deal, just have to take care on it, it's clear. But yeah, just glue a little bit rubber here to so not will go on, because many times I had so radio system when I was younger, and how bad was it when you came to the field after a half hour or an hour driving your bike with all the stuff in the bag coming on the field, and your radio system has no more battery because the power is going off. You have put new fresh batteries in before going to drive, but while you're going or even on the evening before, you put your radio system on. That's really nothing bad, but just a little bit rubber here to stop this would be so great. And the other thing I find really funny is that one. On many radio systems you have it here because of something just easy. When you're driving, you are this way, you have here your radio band here, then you let go your radio, the radio is on you. You can just take it again when you're on the drive. If the mount is here, what happens? That means you have the mount going here to your neck, the neck strap. That's the name I searched before. Then when you let go the radio, you will kill your nuts. And I'm sure, don't tell me it's not true that someone on the earth has kicked his nuts himself with this system. Bye guys, have a nice day.